Super excited for everyone to be here. Today, we are diving into social media for our Accelerate topic of the month, scrolling with a purpose. How to be mindful of social media. So going along with our mindful topic for this month, it looks like we have, hang on, some issues with the shared screen. Give me just one sec. Okay, hopefully we should be all good now. But yes, we are continuing on the topic of mindfulness for the month. And so we are going to apply that to social media for today's lesson, today's training. What we're going to be going over today, I will give you a rundown. Again, my name is Riley Zimmerman, social media manager here. And for today, we're going to be talking about the challenges that we see in social media, shifting the mindset, strategies for mindful use, and strategies to combat burnout. So before we even dive into the posting, the strategy, the goal side of social media and how we actually are successful in social media, it's really important that we have a positive mindset around it. And so we are going to focus on that in today's training. So now let's get started by addressing the elephant in the room. And what do I mean by this? We're going to do a little activity, and I'm going to have everybody take a minute and scan this QR code right here. And I would like you all to answer this question: social media is. So I'm going to also pull up this QR code on my end as well. Go ahead and scan that and type in your word. It can be positive, it can be negative, it can be whatever you want it to be, truly, however you see social media. All right, I'm going to give us one more moment, and then I'm going to pull up everybody's responses. Don't worry, it's anonymous, to see what words are starting to come in. All right, take a minute. I'm going to now pull up our responses. And let's see what we have. All right. I'm a little slow on the computer, guys. Give me a sec. It's Monday morning. We're just easing into this. Okay, so let's see. The number one word is overwhelming, time-consuming, exhausting, daunting, distracting, difficult, connection. Okay, there's a positive. Great. A lot, powerful, time sucker, good for us, junkyard, complex, discouraging, branding, addictive. Wow, dark hole, mixed, informative, confusing, distraction, challenging, the future, too much, annoying. Okay, the more these words trickle in, I'm starting to see a few more negative words than positive words. And that is normal. I honestly expected that. Draining, impactful, a great way to stay in touch, a great way to connect. Okay, so for the positive words, a lot of the takeaways I'm seeing are this idea of connection, staying in touch, but it sounds like overwhelming, time-consuming, daunting are going to be our big negative takeaway words here. Time-consuming, yeah, definitely. It is all of these things and more. Okay, so now that we've kind of gotten it out there, what your current perception of social media is, where you sit with it, I want to help us shift this mindset into a more of a positive mindset. And it's okay that right now we feel it's overwhelming, we feel it's daunting. It's okay that it's all of these things, and I completely agree with you. It would be silly for me to jump on today and say that, oh my gosh, social media is so wonderful, it's so easy, and everybody should do it. And normally, that is the type of presence that I have with social media, but I think I really just want to pull the curtain back and really be really honest with the fact that it is super hard. It's very overwhelming. It can be super daunting. And so we're just going to come up with some strategies to shift that mindset. So it's a little bit more obtainable for you guys, and it's not as daunting as it may seem, although I know it can be at times. Okay, so we're going to jump back into our presentation. And feel free to drop anything in the chat. I'll get to it towards the end to keep us moving today. But any questions that come up, go ahead and just drop them in the chat and we'll address them if we have time. All right, so let's talk about those challenges of social media. You guys pretty much listed all of these things. So where to even begin? It's constantly changing. Oh my goodness. I feel like I have to learn it again the next day. It can be time consuming 100%. This is very true. It can be very stressful and overwhelming. There's so many platforms. There's a lot going on all of each of those platforms. It can be very distracting 100%, and it can be quite complex. Okay, so these are some challenges that we are facing. But there's a way that we can shift this mindset and maybe turn these challenges into some opportunities. And so we're going to talk about some of those opportunities right now. So with that being said, I wanted to insert this quote here that what you focus on grows. And so this is where we can shift that mindset. If we focus on the fact that it's overwhelming, that it's daunting, all of those words that you guys put out, that is going to be our perception of it moving forward. And it's going to be really difficult to be successful on the platform because that is our current perception. And so because that's what we're focusing on, maybe that's why we're not successful on the platform. So let's maybe take an opportunity or two or a challenge or two, switch it into an opportunity, and then really grab onto that opportunity. And let's focus on that and see how we can grow within the platform, leveraging whatever that opportunity is that really resonates with you. So we're going to talk about those now. All right, so shifting that mindset, it's constantly changing. Yes, it is constantly changing. How often means a new opportunity to explore, to try something new, and to connect with your audience in a different way. So you don't always have to change with the platform. If you are doing something that really works well for you and you're in a groove, that's awesome. But maybe you still haven't found your groove with social media just yet. Because it's ever changing, maybe it's an opportunity to get settled in with whatever new settings, algorithm, whatever that is that, is favored on social media at the time. So looking at this is more so of an opportunity to try something new. Now, it can be very time consuming, but that is typically only if you let it. So this idea of time consuming, we can actually use this to our benefit to help you prioritize and time block to be more efficient. So we talk about time blocking all the time at nauseum, it seems. And I feel like there are agents who are time blockers and there are agents who are not. And I totally understand those who are not. I think social media is one of those exceptions where if we don't time block, it's really difficult to be successful in it because you can get lost in it for an hour. You'll sit on the platform for an hour and nothing gets done. And it's really important that we're very specific and strategic with our time on any social media platform. It can be stressful and overwhelming, but shifting that mindset, this is just a reminder that you are in control and to focus on the small and obtainable goals, not looking at social media as such this like big daunting thing. What is the objective? What is the objective that you are trying to obtain in that moment when you go onto the platform to post? Okay. And in this moment here, I just want to take a sec to say that you are in control of social media. And I think all of those words that we put out there, it's showing that social media is in control. But you are actually in the driver's seat. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the book Let Them by Mel Robbins. I'm listening to it right now, an audiobook, and it's fabulous. And I feel like it's teaching me a lot about just life in general, but also when I apply it to social media, it's this idea of like, let social media change every day. Let it be a million different platforms that I can't keep track of. Let it be all of those things. But what can I control in this situation? Let me only go on social media for 30 minutes to post 2 things and then go off of the platform. Or maybe go on and follow 5 new people and engage for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to step off the platform. I am in control. And so I think we have to separate what social media, what can we not control? We cannot control the algorithm. We cannot control who's going to like, who's going to comment, that sort of thing. But we can control what we're posting, how much time we're spending on the platform, that sort of thing. So I think it's really important we separate those 2 things. And if you have not read the book, it's fabulous. Definitely recommend it. Okay, shifting the mindset. 2 more things I want to address here. It's distracting. Yes, it can be very distracting only if you allow it to be. So this is where it's super important to set boundaries and be intentional with the time that you spend on social media. I actually have a timer on my phone that when I've been on Instagram for more than like 20 minutes, it like brings an alert up and it's like, do you still want to be on this platform? And then I think to myself, no, I don't. I don't even know on why I'm on it to begin with. Or yes, I'm finishing up a post. I need 5 more minutes with it. Okay, so setting those boundaries. Another thing that I've learned and started to practice is when I'm supposed to be present in a certain situation, I go put my phone on a charger and put it somewhere else. Or if, it's in the morning, I don't look at my phone right away and I actually go up and I go for a walk and do some other morning activities before jumping right on my phone. So setting those boundaries ahead of time. Keeping it simple. It doesn't have to be this end all be all huge thing. Less is more in this situation, okay? Come up with a simple strategy of 2 posts a week, achieve that strategy, and go to the next week. It does not have to be this huge daunting platform. And we're going to talk about more ways on how to make it not that. But overall, don't let social media basically don't give it more power than it needs. Okay, it may be used to help run your business, but that does not mean it should run your life. And I feel like a lot sit down with agents, they come in and it's like, oh, I'm so stressed about social media. The amount of stress and time that you think about social media compared to the amount of time it would take to sit down and make a post and be done with it for the day, it's it's a huge difference. And I think if we can just change the mindset, if we could take the stress out of it and we can look at it much more objectively, like this is the objective I have today to post this, to take a photo at this listing and then post it maybe this evening when I have time to sit down and do it. We got to take away that that's always in the back of our head that we have to be posting, we have to be on social media. Time block it, do it for the moment that you've set aside, and then you don't have to think about it at all outside of that. Seems a lot easier than it is, but we're gonna get there. So now what? Okay, we've shifted our mindset. We can look at it more with lenses that are opportunities rather than challenges. How do we actually convert ourselves to work on these opportunities? And it's truly shifting you to be from a consumer to a creator. You are no longer a consumer on social media. You can be outside of the time that you're using it for your business. But when you go onto social media, it's important that you don't just jump on and start scrolling right away. No, what is your objective? Come back to the point that you are actually on social media for and immediately dive into that. So if you are on to post, if you are on to engage, immediately start with that. The second you start scrolling is going to be so much harder to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get yourself out of that and put yourself into the creator mode. So we are no longer a consumer. We are now a creator on social media when we are on it for business purposes. Okay, some practical strategies that you can apply for mindful use. We talked a little bit about these, but I'm going to dive into these a little bit more so you actually have tactics to take away from today's call. And that first one is establishing boundaries. Boundaries is so important in life in general, but especially with social media because it can be so consuming. Planning and scheduling, engaging with the intention, leveraging tools, and being you. Your authenticity is going to take you so much further on social media than so many other tactics and strategies that I could give you. So really, it always boils down to that. For this first one, for our practical strategies of establishing boundaries, this is a great idea to set up timers on your social media apps. If you find yourself doom scrolling, set up a timer. You can do it in your settings on your phone. Designate times and areas where social media is off limits. So trying to, keep it out of your brain is a hard thing, right? Sometimes things are just always on our mind, but there are physical things that we can do to make it easier for us. We can't always control our mind, but we can control our actions. And so if we can put our phone somewhere else, if we can go plug it in on the charger upstairs in our room when we're downstairs with our family or with a client or whatever it is. So designating those times and areas is a great physical way that you can establish boundaries, even though sometimes, those thoughts of I need to post on social media can creep into your mind. Turn off unnecessary notifications. I actually don't have any notifications for social media on my phone. This can be a good or a bad thing depending on, what you have coming in, but I typically tell myself that I'm going to post something 1 hour later. I'm going to go on and I'm going to respond to any comments. I'm going to acknowledge any direct messages that have come through. And then I'm really not going to take a look at it for a good chunk of time outside of that. And so the notifications that are like pinging you every 2 seconds, that there's a like, there's a comment, there's a DM, if you time block an hour after you post to go on for 5 minutes and respond to all of those, you don't need all of those notifications. You will still check them. Maybe at the end of the day, you give them one last look through, make sure you didn't miss any direct messages or communications with people. And other than that, you really don't need any notification. So I highly recommend turning them off, especially if you're getting pinged all the time. It can get a little annoying. and distracting as well. So planning and scheduling, utilizing content calendars and scheduling apps. This really helps, I think, take the stress off from your mind of, oh my God, I need to post today, and then I need to post tomorrow, and then I'm going somewhere that I need to post. And it's just constantly in your brain. Getting it on a piece of paper or even in your phone, however your mind works best, allows you to acknowledge, oh, I'm going to post that day because it's on my calendar, and so I'm going to get to it when I'm at the open house. I'm going to take a picture, and I'll post it right then, or I actually have 5 minutes time blocked in my phone for, right after the open house. I'm gonna post a recap or something like that. Because it's marked in your calendar or on your schedule, however it is that you roll your business, it doesn't need to be in your mind. It doesn't need to be a constant thought. And so we can put it on there, but we can also schedule ahead of time as well, which is nice. So I don't always recommend this for all of your posts because it's good to be organic, and authentic in the moment and in the spot. But if we have the opportunity to maybe schedule something ahead of time, like a listing post, or maybe it was a client event that you had and you're doing a little recap like a week later from the event, grab all those photos, put it into a post and schedule it. So you don't have to think about it, but it's going to go out next weekend. Still look super organic because it's, you and all of your clients and such. So a great option to schedule ahead of time. That way you're not thinking about it all the time. Batch creating your content. If you are really into videoing and that type of thing, or taking, little tips and tricks videos, whatever it is, you can batch create that content and then also schedule that ahead of time. Or B-roll content, that's super popular right now. You can take 50 pieces of B-roll content in 20 minutes because they're literally like 1 to 2, 3 seconds long, and schedule that out with, a great tip or trick or something relatable on top of it, when you post that video. So time blocking on social media, also super key, just to, again, take the stress off your mind. If you know you're going to work on social media on Mondays from 9 to 10, which you're not because you're going to be here and accelerate, but if you are going to block that time block, then you don't have to think about it on your mind. You know that you're going to get to it at another time, and you're going to get done what you can in that time frame. Okay, so engaging with intention, another mindful strategy. Send genuine messages instead of chasing likes, comments, follows. A little story I have for this section here is one time I spent, like, I think it was an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours on a reel. It's absurd. And I know some of you guys are like, yes, sometimes I will literally edit a video for an hour and it doesn't do well, maybe. Maybe it gets no likes or only a couple people like it. I spent like 2 hours on this reel, and my dad was the only person that liked it. And I was like, well, thanks, Dad. I appreciate the constant support. And I was really bummed, and I almost deleted it because I was like, I just took 2 hours for this. No one even liked it except my dad. Like, that's so embarrassing. And then I thought to myself, this is a genuine piece that I worked really hard on, and it really shows who I am as a person, whatever it is. And anybody who comes to my channel, they're going to see that I'm staying really consistent with my posting, because I was trying to post, every other day. And if I were to delete that, it's not consistent anymore. It's not showing that. And maybe someone lands on it at another time, and takes a look at it. Regardless, it's really important that we take away this idea of like, oh, this posted really well, this post didn't do well, and get so in the weeds with likes and follows. If you are genuine to yourself, if that content represents who you are as an agent, please keep it out there. This idea of like, don't let progress or perfection get in the way of progress. Just put it out there. I tell agents, if you think about taking the picture, take the picture. If you think about posting it on social media, post it on social media. It's so important that we stay away from this idea of perfection, because like we said, social media is ever changing. It will never be perfect, right? We will never be perfect to the algorithm, but we can always be authentic to you. And that actually resonates really well with the algorithm and potentially your sphere of influence as well. Okay, so follow people that inspire you, not drain you. If you're going to also go on to just be a consumer, it's super important that you're following people that fill your cup and that don't make you feel like, oh my God, I'm not doing that, or I'm not doing this, or she's so amazing and I suck. Like, no, that's not the mindset we want around it. We want people to inspire you. And so I think that's really important with our mindset as well. A lot of times we see content and we're like, oh my God, these are all the things that I should be doing, but I'm not. Change the verbiage, okay, right? What do we have control over? What is authentic to you? And we're gonna let everybody else do them, okay? So that's our intentional side of social media. We're almost through. Leveraging tools, utilizing analytics only to measure metrics that matter to your business. Ignore the vanity metrics. Followers, it does not matter. If you have 7,000 followers and you don't know who a single one of those people are, they mean nothing, okay? It's so important that if you have 500 followers and they are all your sphere of influence, they are your biggest fans, and you are staying in front of them on a weekly basis, you are doing social media well, okay? That is what is most important. So forget about becoming an influencer unless it's your goal to truly grow your channel to be on that type of level. This is a whole different conversation, okay? Using AI for idea generation. Try to use this as a tool to help take the decision fatigue away of the caption, of the order of your posts, of what time you're going to post it. AI can help you with that, okay? Trying to take away all these little things that are just more obstacles in your way. Any way we can minimize those, let's do it, because it's going to make so much social media so much easier for you to actually achieve and achieve your goals on the platforms. Okay, the last thing is just to be you. Truly, if you take away anything from this class, the idea of being mindful is going to be so much easier when you are yourself. Authenticity is trending. Truly, these raw, organic posts of people just being super candid, everybody's able to relate to them. The perfect post, the curated content, nobody relates to because that's not life, right? It honestly just creates like this jealousy and envy and like negative perceptions of those people and of those posts. So authenticity is truly where it's at. Organic content is much greater than planned curated content and it's cheaper typically. And please note that consumers only follow like 1 to 5 real estate agents on social media. So you don't really have to stand out between, if you look at properties, 5,000 agents, you really just need to stand out between like 1 and 5 real estate agents. And being yourself, you are going to do that automatically. Okay, so the last thing we're going to touch on today is just this slide right here on practical strategies to combat burnout. Social media is a lot. Okay, despite all the ways that we can be mindful with it, it's still a lot. Okay, it's a lot to digest, it's a lot to swallow. So we can take breaks. Never sit down and say, I'm going to do social media for an entire day. I find myself that is very difficult as a social media manager too. I can't do it for the entire day. I have to do other things and other tasks to be able to mix it up to keep the creative mindset. So take breaks. Progress over perfection. Always come back to this. Set limits. Okay, don't let yourself scroll for an hour. Remember why you are there. And keep a constant reminder of your why. I feel like we talk about this in coffee all the time. We talked about this with Chris a little bit, but this idea of your why. Why are you on this platform? Why are you even doing social media to begin with? It's for your business. Okay, why are you a real estate agent? What is your why? I actually have a little picture here. That's a picture of my daughter on the back of my phone. And I have her on the back of my phone. And it is such a great reminder of my why, especially on my phone because I'm always on my phone and sometimes not for great reasons, right? Sometimes it's for scrolling. It's for things that are not serving me and are not allowing me to be mindful. And when I see her, I'm like, okay, that's my why. That brings me back. So if you need the company of how to get pictures of your children or your pets or your loved ones on your phone, I can hook you up with that. But truly, just come back to that why. And I think it'll reground you and center you and help you be mindful in a moment when you get lost in social media and all that it is. All right, so our next steps here, shifting the mindset. Hopefully just today you feel maybe a little bit lighter. That would really be the biggest takeaways. If you feel just slightly lighter, that social media isn't this big daunting thing and that you're in control, I would say it's a success. Time block, okay, right? Set that time aside. Make a plan. If you don't have a plan, that's like in Friends when Phoebe's like, I don't even have a plot. And sometimes I live my life like Phoebe. I feel like I don't have a plot either. But make a plan, okay? It's going to make you much more intentional with your time. And then finally, engage. That's like the biggest thing in social media right now. Just engaging, making those genuine connections, right? We're not worried about the followers. Doesn't matter, if you have 10,000 followers, it matters that you have those few sphere people that you are genuinely connected with because they are your A people and they will sing your praises as long as you stay in front of them. So that's a little wrap up of our social training for today. I am going to pull up our chat. Looks like we have some questions coming through. So I'd love to take a moment just to answer these and see if there's anything I can address. All right, I gotta go back down. I wonder what our average age is. I'm 41. I feel a lot of these answers are coming from generations that knew the world prior to social media. How I wonder. Reading it. Oh, love it. Everybody's reading Let Them. Good, good, good. The name of the book is Let Them by Mel Robbins. I just downloaded it. Yes, I love it. Okay, what is B-roll? That's a great question. So a lot of times on social media, you'll see nowadays that someone has a video that's maybe just a few seconds long of them typing on their laptop or them drinking their coffee or eating their breakfast in the morning. It's super short. There's typically no words in it. And then on top of it is a statistic or a fun fact or a point of view, me in the morning doing whatever. So B-roll is just that like background video that you can take to use as video. But what's nice is you don't have to plan it. You don't have to be speaking on it. A lot of times I think people are worried they don't want to be on camera. They don't want their face on camera. You could literally just do it of your house. You could do it walking your dog. You don't even have to be in it. But those little 3-second, 5-second clips, those are all B-roll. So those are great to use. Okay. I have folks liking Kevin. I have folks, oh, I love that Kevin said this. I have folks liking or commenting on posts that are years old. That is what the algorithm does, actually. If you have posts that have certain things that someone is searching on the platform, this is so great because it will still come up, even if it's years old. So who knows where that video is that I posted only my dad liked. Maybe someone else liked it at this point too, but keep those posts up there because they still may be relevant to other people. Okay, perfect. We got some B-roll. Yes, awesome. People are putting their definitions of B-roll in there. I just turned off my Facebook and Instagram notifications. I waste so much time on them. Yes, please turn the notifications off. That's awesome. Okay. I have over 1,000 followers, but I feel only 500 to 100 people see my content. I only see the same people and their content. How do I get out of content to all of our followers? Yeah, so that's something that some people are struggling with. And so what you can do is go through and see who do you follow. Typically, you're only seeing like 10 to 50 people as well. Go through and start engaging with the other people that you follow that you don't normally see. So pull up your follower list and see, maybe it says like Liz Brown, okay? You click on Liz Brown and you haven't seen her stuff, but she's been posting, but you haven't been seeing it. Start engaging with Liz's stuff, and the same is going to happen to you. Your stuff's going to be pushed in front of her, and vice versa. So sometimes you have to start engaging again on those with those accounts, and then you'll start to see them more. Because unfortunately, the more you engage with something, the more you see it. So if you're really, obsessed with one account, it's difficult. That's why we have to shift the mindset from creator to consumer. Okay, right? You now need to connect with your sphere, not all the random influencers that you follow. So it's important to keep that in mind. Best free apps to create reels. Instagram just released a new one. I don't know the name of it, but I'll find that out for you guys. CapCut is what I use a lot. You can also edit in the platform. Just be careful with CapCut. CapCut, it did go away for a day, but it's back. So just keep an eye on that. Stories versus reels. Stories are trending right now. Putting your stories out, every other day. Quick snippets, organic content. They don't have to be super planned. So definitely put stories out there. That's actually what people are engaging with a lot at the moment. Should we all be on social media sites? Okay, this is a great question, Ashanti. Should we be on all social media sites or select few? My philosophy that I live by and that I've always lived by is that less is more. If you love Instagram and you're really great at Instagram, have Instagram and be amazing at Instagram. Instead of having Facebook and TikTok and LinkedIn, and which LinkedIn we'll talk about, that's important to have as well, and Threads and Twitter, or X, it's so important that you are just really successful on the 1 to 2, 3 accounts that you resonate with, and that you enjoy being on. Not worrying about being on all of them, because if someone lands on your Threads account or your Facebook account and there's nothing on it because you have too many channels going on, it's actually doing you a disservice. So it's really important to click the ones or be on the platforms that resonate with you and that are obtainable, like you can actually continue posting on them. All right, so that's important. You can say your IG automatic. Yes, you can automatically sync your Instagram and Facebook. So those are nice to have. Typically, my secret sauce is Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I think everybody should have, whether or not you like it or not. It's a great professional platform to be on. It's easy to stay in front of people. It's easy to connect with new people because of the software behind LinkedIn and how it connects you with different people. And it's a great place to show you as an agent in a professional light. So the Instagrams, the Facebook, we're painting you as, a person as a whole outside of a real estate agent. But LinkedIn, we can really focus on who you are as a real estate agent in that professional setting. Yes, you need to have a Facebook business page. You cannot use your personal page to post listing related sales content on there. So everything has to funnel through the business page. Set up the business page, post on there, and then share it to your personal account. It's very important that you do this because Facebook will shut down or disable your account if they find out you're posting the sales side of things onto your personal account. Some people have gotten away with it, but I've had agents who have had their accounts shut down, unfortunately, that they cannot get back into. So it's really important we funnel everything through the business page just to be safe. Instagram, there's a gray area. You can post anything on any account. It doesn't actually make a difference on Instagram. Yes. All right. I think we are caught up on the questions. One more, what schedulers do you like? Hootsuite and Loomly are my favorite. Instagram does now have a capability as long as like Meta Business Suite. So that's in Facebook and Instagram. They do have the capability to schedule, but just on those platforms. If you're managing a lot of accounts, Hootsuite and Loomly are my two favorites. Loomly I personally use, but I know people like Hootsuite as well. Okay. That is all we have for today. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can watch this recording again. If there was anything you missed, I'm super pumped you all joined, and I'm excited for what's up next. Do not forget to join us next Monday. MJA is going to be our partner, and they are presenting on taxes as an independent contractor. I know taxes are not fun, but this call is going to be super informative, especially coming up on tax season. So definitely join, and we will see you all there Monday at 9 a.m. Thanks so much.